Sports. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Pep Fernandez. We're about to get to the Inland Sports Show in just a matter of moments. But first, a quick update from Grand Terrace High School. I'm out here at GT, the Titans hosting San Bernardino in the first round of the CIF Southern Section Division IV Boys Soccer Playoff. Should be a good one. And man, it was pouring hard earlier today in the Riverside and Colton, Grand Terrace area. But as you can see behind me, the clouds have parted enough. It's still kind of cold. It is very wet. That field will be slick, but the clouds have parted, and we're going to have some soccer tonight in the first round of the D4 playoffs. And before we get to the show, I do got to get something off my chest. These playoff seedings and who gets home games. I mean, San Bernardino wins the Mountain Valley League Championship, and they got to go on the road to a team that did not win a league title. And on the flip side, a team like Indian Springs, they did not win a league championship, but they get to open the Division IV playoffs at home. And this is not the only case where this is happening. There's other leagues where this is happening as well, where a league champion has to open on the road, and a team that did not win a league title has to or gets to open up at home. For example, just off the top of my head, and I'm trying to single anybody out or any schools out, but Arrowhead Christian boys basketball, they won the Ambassador League title. Well, they have to go on the road in the first round. Aquinas finished in second place, although it's a bigger division, and they got to go on the road, or they're at home in the first round, I should say. So I think, and I've said this numerous times during the football season, is that if you win a league championship, at the very least, you should be able to get open the playoffs at home, right? Put some value on the league title. I've said it for football. I mean it for soccer. Basketball is the same scenario. If you win a league championship, reward that team. Let them open at least at home in the playoffs, that first game. I've worked in different sections up and down California, and it's different, man. If you're the number one seed or you're a high seed, they got to go through you. They got to get through you and your home field or your home court to get to that championship game. So not a big fan of the coin flips, and I'm still scratching my head on why some of these teams have to open on the road and not at home if they won a league title, which is the case here between San Bernardino and Grand Terrace boys soccer in the first round of the Division IV playoffs. But with all that said, sit back, relax, enjoy the Inland Sports Show. We're going to hear from new San Gorgonio head coach Shawn Collins, the new head football coach out there, the former coach at Colton and San Bernardino. We're going to hear from Citrus Hill boys basketball coach Gary White. We're going to explain why it is a family affair for the Hawks this season, and they've won 16 games in a row going into the playoffs. We'll have more high school basketball, more high school soccer, and we're also going to hear from CBU baseball coach Gary Adcock as the Lancers get set to open their season with a big 4-game series against Cal State Fullerton. All right, I'm going to wrap things up here at Grand Terrace High School. My name is Pep Fernandez. Thank you for watching the Inland Sports Show. It starts right now. And what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. We are live and amplified here on Wednesday night. Proud that you're happy that you're joining us. And listen, we're proud to bring it to you because we've got some good stuff going on. We're going to the CIF Southern Section playoffs for basketball and soccer this week. We're also going to show you a little bit of girls water polo as well. So it is a very busy time. It's a very fun time of the year, that crossover season as we get ready for baseball and softball as well as we go into the spring. So before we get any further, if you're watching this show live or even after the fact, give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. But we talk football all year round, and we had some big football news go down. A guy that I really like, I'm a big fan of his, Shawn Collins, the former head coach at San Bernardino. He was also the head coach at Colton High School. He is the new head coach for San Gorgonio. He took last year off to follow his son around, play soccer. His son is very good at soccer. So him and his wife took the football season off and just did the family thing, which is awesome. You know, I bet you there's some coaches out there jealous of what Coach Collins was able to do last year, hang out with his family and watch his son. But now the opportunity came up to coach at San Gorgonio. He could not pass it up. He's very excited about it. We have a full interview coming up on Sports Weekly on IEMG this week. Here's about 90 seconds of it talking about his decision to come back and coach again locally here at San Gorgonio, taking over a Spartans team that went 1-9 last season, and that one win was a forfeit loss, so they really didn't win any games on the field. So it's a little bit of a rebuild job at San Gorgonio, but Coach Collins says he is up for the task. Here is Shawn Collins, the new head coach at San G. Inland Sports.
Oh, man, we're going to go air raid. No, I'm just playing.
Run and shoot.
I'm just playing. Yeah, we're going to go run and shoot with it. No, we're probably going to – you're going to get what you get, man. I've never hit it. We're going to run the ball, but we're going to definitely throw it a little bit more. We got a guy there that can spin it a little bit. So I'm actually – yeah, we're going to do it. He's going to throw the ball a little bit.
So you might mix it up just a little bit, right? Keep the other teams on their toes a little bit.
Oh yeah. If he's hot, we're going to throw it. So, but we will be able to throw it this year. So that's going to be a good thing.
Coach, let me ask you. You know, I don't even know. Were you coaching anywhere? Did you just kind of take a year off to yourself? I know you're married. You got a family. You got other things going on. So, what did last year look like for you? And did you kind of get that itch to be a head coach again?
Last year, I took the year off. Followed my son around with his soccer stuff. Kind of just got to be a fan, got to sit and, just enjoy my kid and watch him play and do stuff like that. I really didn't do anything football related. I stepped away from it, stayed away from it. And then when this hiring cycle opened and San G became available, I kind of just, I had a few talks with some people, and here I am.
Inland Sports. All right, that's Shawn Collins. He might even throw the football a little bit this year at San G, which would be a lot of fun and a change of pace, right, for his traditional offense. All right, other football news. Want to give a shout out to my mighty Eags at Arrowhead Christian. New head football coach Diamond Lawrence comes over from Western Christian in Upland. He was the JV head coach and assistant at the varsity level. Made it to the NFL, played for a couple teams, including the Raiders. So Diamond Lawrence, the new head football coach at ACA, my mighty Eags. And again, this is a busy time this offseason where a lot of football teams make changes. So we'll keep you up to date on any high school football changes out there. But now we got to talk about the winter playoffs right now for the CIF Southern section, basketball and soccer specifically. Let's start with basketball because really, if it's not the coolest, it's right up there. The coolest boys basketball storyline going into the CIF Southern section playoffs has got to be the Elsinore Tigers. These guys are on a generational run right now. Inland Sports. Check them out. Wrapping up Mountain Pass League play against San Jacinto, and the Elsinore Tigers winning 81-57 in their final league game of the year to wrap up a perfect Mountain Pass League schedule. And then they went on to beat Temecula Prep in their final non-league game. So now the Tigers go into the playoffs with a record of 28-0. They have not lost this season. They are the only undefeated basketball team in the Southern section going into the playoffs, and they broke the school record from 1974 when the team went 27-0. So that's our Bass Athletics play of the week. Elsinore going 28-0 and wrapping up that Mountain Pass League championship with an undefeated record in league action. What a run for Elsinore, and they're going to take on Sonora in the first round of the playoffs tonight. So we'll see if they can keep the undefeated record going and more importantly, keep their season alive, right? Make a run to a CIF championship game. They went to the semifinals last year, so they know they had a good thing going. Coach Rettinger and Coach Walter obviously doing such a good job out there with Elsinore, and 28-0, man. That's unbelievable. Any way you slice it, that is a great run for the Elsinore Tigers. All right, now moving along, let's talk some high school soccer in Division I on the boys' side. It is absolutely brutal. There are so many great opening round matchups. We can only pick one. We're going to talk about all of them in a moment, but we can only pick one as our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. We're going with this one. Sunkiss League, Fontana Steelers. You got Santiago from the Big 8. What's not to love, man? Sharks going on the road to Faux High. It's going to be a great one at Dick Bruick Field. We'll see which team can advance out of a loaded Division I bracket. Both teams with great head coaches, a lot of talent on both sides, and both, again, coming from great leagues. The Sunkiss League and the Big 8 League, you could make an argument, are the top two leagues. I know the Ivy League usually is pretty strong. You might throw them in there, but maybe the top two leagues in the Inland Empire, Sunkist and Big 8. So it's going to be a great one. Our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. Santiago and Fontana tonight. Now, let's run through the bracket real quick, and we had to break it up because there are 16 games. That's 32 teams in Division I for boys soccer. As we mentioned, there is a bunch of teams from the IE, specifically in the Inland Sports Show coverage area in this one. Corona on the road at Canyon in Anaheim. We've got mighty Arlington, the Ivy League champion. They've made deep runs. We know all about what they did 2 years ago to get to the Open Division Championship match against Mater Dei, undefeated. So Arlington's at home against Upland. You got Cajon on the road at Torrance. Cajon was your runner-up in the Citrus Belt League. All right, we're going to jump from that one. Now let's go to a little bit further down the bracket. And let's see. Here we go. We've got Roosevelt at Rancho Cucamonga. Ooh, that's another good one right there. We got Rev on the road at Rancho Mirage. Rev, another CBL squad. We got Beaumont, your CBL champion, at home against Sultana. And let's see. Let's go down to the final part of the bracket because we've got a couple more Inland Empire schools. We got Harupa Hills out of Fontana at Edison, another Sunkiss League school. We mentioned the Steelers and the Sharks there. We've got Rialto at home against La Quinta, and Summit on the road at El Segundo. Summit, your San Andreas League champion out of the Arrowhead Athletic Conference. So Man, it is going to be brutal, but the good news is we've got IE schools sprinkled throughout the Division I bracket, so we have a strong potential to maybe have an all inland sports show Division I championship match. It's a long road to get to the finals, but we do have a lot of strong teams in there, so we'll see who can make a run and get to the championship match. And it begins tonight. So as we're doing this show right now, we've got games going on out there, so we'll keep you update next week who is going on to. That'd be going into the quarterfinal round, or if I think the quarterfinals might be on Tuesday, so quarter semifinals. It's going to happen fast in the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, take you out to Ram High, Ramona High School, reaching the Division IV quarterfinals in girls water polo. The Rams beat a tough Hoover team from Glendale by a score of 9-3. Lily McIntosh had a hat trick, as did Izzy Whitlock. They both had 3 goals in the match. So Ramona wins 9-3. They advance to the quarterfinals. I was talking to athletic director John Tibbles, and he said as far as he can remember, there has not been a Ramona girls water polo team ever make it to the CIF semifinals. So if Ram High can win one more round, they would make some school history. And Ramona, as well as Arlington, also from the city of Riverside, both of those schools are in the quarterfinals. We'll talk about that on the Riverside Sports Update this week on Riverside TV. So 2 Riverside schools in the quarterfinals, and they are on opposite ends of the bracket. So if they both made it all the way to the championship match, we could have an all Riverside final. But awesome that they're both in the quarterfinals for now. All right, we're going to take a very quick break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, they're on the court right now, but we did an interview with Citrus Hill boys basketball coach Jerry White. The Hawks are having a great season. They have won 16 in a row, Inland Valley League champions. And last year, they made it to a CIF Southern Section Championship game. Can they do it again? The pressure is on Citrus Hill a little bit this year because they were so great during the regular season, and it's a family affair for the Hawks. You're going to find out why when we come back with Citrus Hill head coach Jerry White right after this.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona, driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. Visit bassathletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
Did you know that Upper body strength helps build speed by helping you develop a stable spine and massive arm action when you're sprinting. Here are 3 tips I use to coach my athletes to build the bench press. Okay, so we have our bench and our barbell set up. Our first tip is going to be the 5 points of contact in our grip. So what are the 5 points of contact? It's going to be our right and left foot on the floor. We're going to have our butt on the bench, upper back, and head. Then we want to make sure our grip is either shoulder width or slightly outside of our shoulders. A good rule of thumb is to go with the rings on the bar because that's going to make sure that you're even on both sides. Really important next, I want to make sure I create some tension. I always tell my athletes that the more tension we can create internally, the more force we're going to be able to produce externally. So what that looks like is I want to make sure I want to bend the bar to stabilize my shoulders, and I want to squeeze my lats. I want to get my back involved in the lift as well. I also want to dig my feet in, almost push myself back against the bench, all right? So I want to create as much tension as I can. Then I lift off. Lastly, let's talk about this bar path. I want to make sure that the bar stays over my chest. This is super important. You don't hear too many coaches talking about it. I want to make sure that bar doesn't drift over my face. Keep that bar directly over my chest. You should always have a spotter when you're doing a bench press. And no, you do not need to lift 225 pounds in order to be faster, but you need to have an adequate amount of upper body strength because a weak athlete is not a fast athlete. Boost, man.
All right, welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. Let's talk some more high school boys basketball. We talked about Elsinore being such a great story this year, going 28-0, setting a new school record, being the only undefeated Southern Section team going into the playoffs. Well, another awesome story has been Citrus Hill. The Hawks made it to a CIF Southern Section championship game last year. They're 21-6 going into the playoffs. They've won 16 games in a row. So we had to catch up with head coach Jerry White. I know they're on the floor tonight. I think they're in Torrance, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. But they've had a great regular season. Now they're trying to make it pay off now in the playoffs. Again, 16 wins in a row. And when you look at their non-league schedule, we'll talk to Coach about this. They had to beat some really good teams in non-league play. Ramona was on there. Ramona, Corona, Paloma Valley. I know I'm missing some, but there were some good teams on their non-league. So they're battle-tested. They've won a league title. They're streaking. They've won 16 in a row going into the playoffs. So things are looking good for Coach Jerry White and the Hawks. And for Coach White, it's a family affair. He's got 3 grandsons on the basketball team, including Jaron White, who's the complete player, man. He can do everything on the floor for the Hawks, a tremendous talent. So here is head coach Jerry White. Hope the Hawks are winning tonight as we do this show, opening up the playoffs. Here is Coach White from Citrus Hill on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. Now join us here on the Inland Sports Show as we get set for the CIF Southern Section playoffs. As the head coach of the Citrus Hill boys basketball team, Jerry White. And Coach, congrats on an Inland Valley League title. I know you guys are playing some really good basketball right now as you get ready for the playoffs. In fact, 16 wins in a row. During this streak, Coach, to go into the playoffs, what has really stood out to you about your team? Why are you guys playing such good basketball right now?
Well, I think the experience from playing last year, I don't know if you know, last year we finished in 4th in our league. We kind of got lucky, got a good draw to go into the playoffs. And just the experience of just being in there and playing, then the entire team coming back, that was just great for us. And so now it's starting to build again toward the end of the season, which is great. That's when you really want to start winning, is when, you need to win. And so I think that played into a lot of it.
Well, Coach, to piggyback off something you just said about, that experience from last season, you got to a CIF championship game, and you said basically that team from last year is back this year. So exactly. How was that experience of making a CIF run? How do you think that's going to pay off this year? And maybe this would be the difference in, winning that championship game.
Well, it's really hard to say if that's going to pay off. Because like I said, we made a great effort toward the end of the season. Right now, we're going into, I don't know if you know, we're going to be playing South Torrance on Wednesday. They look like a pretty strong team. I'm hoping we can bring home a victory, but I don't like to count my chickens before they hatch. So I'm going to wait and see what happens, and we'll go from there.
Well, Coach, I was looking through your non-league schedule this year. I mean, you beat some really good teams along the way. I mean, Ramona, off the top of my head,
Right.
Beaumont, I think Corona was in there, Paloma Valley. I mean, you beat some good teams. Like, you know, when you looked at your non-league schedule, did you feel like, hey, there's going to be some measuring sticks in there? I know I think you played Summit a couple times, but you know, there's going to be some games where you're going to find out, hey, how good are we? So when you looked at your non-league schedule, what stood out to you about that and some of those games that you guys played?
Well, I don't know if you know, earlier in the season, we had two of our starters. They were actually hurt. They were not playing. So just the fact that we could still compete without them, that let me know that once they came back, that we were going to be pretty good. So what else got to say about them? I enjoy coaching them. They're a fun group. This year, I'll probably end up losing three players, and I don't know, looking, see what happens.
Well, Coach, I got to ask you about your grandson, Jaron, who, you know, I was looking at the stats. I mean, he's the second leading scorer, but besides scoring, I think he leads the team in basically everything else. I mean, rebounds, steals, whatever. You pick the category, blocks, he probably leads it. So first off, kind of a twofold question. You know, what's it like coaching your grandson? Like, how rewarding of an experience has that been for you? And then secondly, what he brings to the team, because I feel like you could probably ask him to do anything on the floor and he's going to be able to do it.
Right, you're right about that. It's really a pleasure to be able to coach. To coach your son, your grandson, any relative. But he's a fun kid. He's quiet. He listens. He has an excellent grade point average. You couldn't ask for a better kid, believe it or not. But it's a pleasure. Yeah. But not only do I have just Jaron, I actually have two other grandkids on the team also.
So, I mean, you almost have a whole team, Coach. I mean, your whole family's the team.
Just about.
But how fun is that? Because, you know, some coaches will be like, oh, I'm missing time from my family. I can't see my grandkids play. You get a front row seat. I mean, you're right there on the bench with them. Right.
And then, of course, my two daughters are the ones who have the kids. So they're there. My wife is there. It's a whole family event. Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, Coach, you know, it's kind of a sports cliche, but they say that you want to be peaking at the right time, right? You want to be playing your best basketball going into the playoffs, going into CIF. I mentioned that you guys have won 16 in a row, including that Inland Valley League title as you go into the playoffs. Do you feel like, as good as things are going, that you guys can still be better in the playoffs, that you're still trending up?
Well, you know, I do feel that way, but I don't want to jinx myself, because I know I have this game coming up here on a Wednesday, and I'd hate to just get ahead of myself and lose that game. So I don't want to say, yeah, we're this team or we're that, we're doing this or this or the other. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. But I do feel that we're right where we need to be right now.
Is practice any different once you get to the playoffs, or is it kind of business as usual?
It's business as usual. We continue to do the same exact thing that we do. The only difference that in playoffs is the fact that we have to try to find film, because we've been teams that we've never played, we haven't seen them, we don't know what to expect. So we're hustling around trying to find film on, do we have anything, and see what they do, and what is it that we need to do to counter whatever they're doing. So yeah, that's the difference. And then we try to work on that in practice. Yeah.
Coach White, going into the season, did you feel like the expectation was a little bit different this year compared to last year? Because you had, the success last year. Like you finished, like you said, fourth in league, but you made that, the CIF run. So going into this year, did it feel like, man, we need to compete for a league title. We need to get to the playoffs and make another, run again. So did it feel like the standard had changed going into the second year?
Yes, it does. Because, it's hard to duplicate a season that we had last year. I mean, that was a great season all the way to finals, and then, of course, losing to California. And so you're telling yourself, how do we duplicate this? Can we do this again? Yes, we would like to, but can we do it? And right now, when you look at what we're doing, we're, like you said, we're 10-0. We're 10-0 in league champs. Okay, that's a step up from fourth place last year. And now we're back into the playoffs. So can we make that run again all the way to the championship? I think so. But will it happen? We have to wait and see.
Got to go out there and do it on the court, right?
Exactly.
All right, Coach, last question. And, what going through the playoffs last year, again, you had to string together a couple wins. You had to stack a couple wins to get to that CIF championship game. What do you feel like is the most important thing that you guys have to do in the playoffs to not only get a win against Torrance, but if you guys are going to make another CIF run again, what do you think is that secret ingredient? What do you guys have to do well to, make this playoff run?
Well, like I tell the guys all the time, I like for them to come out with energy, be fired up, be ready to go. And of course, we have to rebound. We have to get into I don't know if you know our game, but our game is a transition game. We can run plays, but we love to just get that rebound or get that turnover and go on down and make that layup. Can we shoot shots? Yeah. Can we run offenses? Yeah. Do we really want to? Not really.
So you're going to run them out of the gym. That's the plan. Just get up and down, right?
Exactly. Yeah, so be ready for that.
Well, Coach White, listen, congratulations on all the success so far. I know you guys still have some unfinished business out there. Best of luck on Wednesday night against Torrance, and go get them. Go Hawks.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
You got it. That's Coach Jerry White from the Citrus Hill Hawks boys basketball team on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports. All right, big thanks to Jerry White from Citrus Hill, and how cool of an experience to have 3 grandsons on his team and all his family at the game. So he's not missing out on family time. He's got the best of both worlds. He loves coaching, and of course he loves his family and being around his family, so that's pretty cool. We'll see if Citrus Hill can make another run. Again, they went to a championship game last year. They fell a little bit short, but what a great experience. Basically, that entire team is back for the Hawks, so we'll see if they can make a run. And the playoffs open tonight, so I told Coach, the show will be going while you guys are on the floor, so hopefully you guys can keep it going and make a run to the championship game. All right, when we come back, let's see. We're going to check in with our guy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM. We're going to have some CBU basketball highlights. The Lancers have won 16 straight games at home. They are red hot right now and tied for first place in the Western Athletic Conference. And the CBU baseball season starts this week. We'll check in with Lancers head coach Gary Adcock. That's coming up here on the Inland Sports Show right after this. The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Bass Athletics in Corona, driven by passion and hard work, Bass Athletics helps student athletes push their limits, compete with heart, and build the discipline to succeed in sports, school, and life. Visit bassathletics.com. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands with Dr. Marcus Paulson. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist that you can trust. And Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken.
Things I would never do as a strength and conditioning coach is work with thousands of athletes over the past 10 years. Number one, I'm never going to overemphasize talent. When we have a lot of talent early on, oftentimes it masks poor work ethic, bad attitude, and masks bad academics. Whereas if you continue to work on those elements, you continue to build your talent, you could peak at the right moment. We don't focus on talent here. We're looking for hardworking athletes. Number two, I'm never going to rely on fancy equipment. I've done a lot with a little when it comes to my student athletes. Surround these young student athletes with too much fancy stuff. They start to think that athletic development is outside of themselves, right? It's not intrinsic anymore. I need to have this in order to get better. I need to have that. When the reality is, all you really need to have is a hunger. You really need to have heart that you're going to get up every single day and put the work in, and the results are going to be there. Number three, I'm never going to skip the fundamentals. When my student athletes work on the same things over and over and over again, you're not going to master something at 12, 13, 14 years old, right? It's the process, it's development. We want to make sure that when they are 17, 18, 19, that they're going to get all the benefits from the repetition that we did early on. When you skip the fundamentals, student athletes lose out on the development.
I just want the best team to win the whole thing. And Seattle had proven, and I'm not just saying that because you're the biggest Seahawks fan I know. Seattle had proven that they were the best NFL team. So for them to go win the Super Bowl, it just feels right. They deserve it. I mean, they deserve to be the Super Bowl champion, and they did it in decisive fashion, man. They dominated that game against the Patriots.
They really did. I thought McDaniel was going to be a lot trickier because he had been in this game so many times. But then I was kind of reminded by a Nick Saban story, which is, hey, it's not the plays, it's the players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got to have the dogs. You know what I mean? And it was tough for Drake May.
Yeah, that Seattle defense, I feel like, was the difference, right? I mean, Sam Darnold was good enough. Kenneth Walker had a great game on the ground. They ran the ball effectively, and that's why he was the MVP. But it was that Seattle defense. If you could give the MVP award to one side of the football or, like the secondary or the front line of that defense, I feel like someone on the defense should have got the MVP award because they were that dominant, man. New England didn't do anything on that Seattle defense until late in that game, man. They were stagnant for about 3 quarters, nothing from that New England offense.
You're right. If there was ever an argument to give a whole unit MVP, this was it. I know this doesn't mean everything to Pep and I, but Vegas does have the odds out to win the Super Bowl again, and tied for first are the Seahawks and the Rams to win it again.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle's built to win now for a while, so that's the thing. They got the quarterback, they got the head coach, they got a great young defense. I mean, they're going to be scary for a couple years. And Matt Stafford, listen, he was the NFL MVP, and he got the award this week, during Super Bowl week. But how many years does he have left? Like, is this window for the Rams? Is it next year? Then that's it. And that window's going to close with Stafford. So it's going to be tough for the Rams to get back to the Super Bowl with Seattle standing in their way. And also considering this could be, the end is closer for Matt Stafford than it is far away. So, I mean, this is it for the Rams.
I could see it happening again, though. I mean, the NFC Championship game may be like the Super Bowl once again.
Inland Sports. All right, welcome back to the show. I was hanging out with my boy Patrick in the morning on KCAL 96.7 FM this past Monday. I hang out with him on every Monday and Thursday morning talking sports, but he is the biggest Seattle Seahawks fan I know. He is from Seattle. He has loved them his entire life. His sons are big Seahawks fans now, and for them to enjoy that Super Bowl was awesome, man. So I'm super happy for him. But yeah, you can catch us talking sports on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. And I will say, last week I went on KCAL and predicted the final score was going to be 21-13. The Seahawks would win. I felt like Seattle was the best team in the NFL, especially how they completely annihilated my 49ers twice at the end of the season, including that playoff game. I was like, Seattle is the best team. If they don't win, man, the NFL is rigged. So I felt Seattle was going to win. I said 21-13. And the final score was 29-13. I think it was Nwosu who had that last pick six for Seattle. So it should have, I don't know, it should have been 22-13. I almost got the final score right on the dot, which I never predict final scores correct, but I was actually close on that one. So congrats to the Seahawks, and check out my boy Patrick in the morning on KCal 96.7 FM in the mornings. All right, let's see, check this out. Kin Sporting Goods is celebrating 50 years of serving the Inland Empire. Team uniforms, sports equipment, Letterman's jackets, all that stuff. Even businesses. I know a lot of local businesses will go there and get their, let's say, like uniforms. They need matching uniforms. I'm talking about like plumbers. It doesn't have to be like a sports team, like a profession. Like a lot of businesses go there and get their uniforms as well. But right now they're celebrating 50 years here in the IE since 1976. And when you go in there and spend at least $20, you're going to get some free 50th anniversary swag while supplies last. I got a hat over here. I got a sweater. I got the tumbler as well. I know these are very popular, right? Everybody carries these around. So you can get yourself a Kin Sporting Goods. They do have them for sale, but again, if you go in there and spend money, you're going to get something free. So go in there and check that out. Tell them the Inland Sports Show sent you. Drop Inland Sports. Maybe you'll get a special pep discount as well at Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. We truly appreciate their support. They have been so good to us from the very beginning, so we could share these awesome positive stories here in the Inland Empire. All right, now moving along, we're going to wrap things up with some college basketball and some baseball here. We're going to start with some college basketball. CBU men's basketball is on an absolute run right now. Here's the tale of the tape. They have won 8 games in a row. They are tied for first place in the Western Athletic Conference with Utah Valley. They are undefeated at home this season. The Fowler Event Center is the hottest ticket in town. It is always packed. It's an awesome college basketball environment. Well, the Lancers are 12-0 at home this season, and they have won 16 straight home games going back to last year. So I think, I'd have to double check, but the last I saw, St. Mary's College up in Moraga had like a 21 straight win streak at home, which was best in California. But CBU is second, and CBU in attendance, I think, is second only to San Diego State. So they are the hottest ticket in town. They are playing great basketball. We are coming down the home stretch of the regular season, so I know they have big plans to make March Madness for the very first time. They're going to have a really great shot at it. So they're coming off a couple big home wins. They beat Tarleton State by 1 point. Then they beat Abilene Christian by 2 points. Both those games came down to the very end, but the Lancers found a way to defend their home floor at the Fowler Event Center. Here's some of the highlights from ESPN as CBU and Dominique Daniels Jr. got the win against Abilene Christian.
6-5, Abilene Christian with the lead. Dominique Daniels Jr. 3 is good. Dominique Daniels Jr. and the Lancers with an early lead. 8-6 against Abilene Christian. Williams over to Indong around the free throw line. Spins
Great
left.
move.
What a move by Indong. Dominique Daniels Jr. drives inside. He had some contact. He wanted the foul, but he got the basket. Daniels to Hennig. Hennig rolling to the rim. Nice spin move by big Brady Hennig. Right back to Jackson. Looking to create at the top. Goes back to Daniels. What a pass inside to D'Amalio. Play of the first half. Dominique Daniels Jr. The no-look pass. He's got 9 in this game. 4-point ball game. Miles Daniels trying to shake off Rivera. From the elbow. That one is good for Miles Daniels. Back the other way in transition. D'Amalio running the floor. Left hand good for D'Amalio. Back up top to Horniker. Hands it off to Rivera. Trying to go back to Horniker. Deflected by Jaden Jackson, but there's Vincent. Blocked by Martell Williams. Hubbard blocked by Indong.
Big time block by Thomas.
Transition. Daniels, no. Martell Williams, no. Indong, yes! To get the Lancers going the other way in transition after a couple misses. Indong there. Daniels has it. Driving at Hubbard to the rim, the basket, and the foul. Dom time. I was thinking about that night when he scored 47. I'm like, Dom, rekindle the magic. Daniels with Vincent in front of him. He'll go right. Daniels still on the dribble to Jordan Mueller in the corner for three. And it's good for Jordan Mueller. Take another look. Daniels, he thought about it. He thought about shooting it.
All right, it's a 2-point win against Abilene Christian. Abilene Christian, you might remember, they've made the NCAA tournament, I think twice. I think it was 2021, I want to say, when they beat Texas, who was the Longhorns, I think, were a number 3 seed in March Madness. So Abilene Christian has some March Madness pedigree. So that was a big win for the Lancers. Again, 12-0 at home this season, but now they go out on the road, a big, tough road trip to the state of Utah. We're not going to see CBU at home again until the end of the month, but they've got Utah Valley, Utah Tech, Southern Utah, all coming up in Western Athletic Conference play. And again, it all builds up to the WAC tournament, WAC Vegas for the conference tournament. You win the conference tournament at the end of the season, and you punch your automatic ticket to the big dance. So a lot on the line, but things looking good right now for CBU. And Dominique Daniels Jr., Dom time, man. He is one of the top scorers in the entire nation. Period, man. He's having a great season. So he was the mid-major player of the month in the month of January. So he's having a great, great senior year. All right, and one final thing. CBU baseball opening up their season this weekend with a big 4-game series against Cal State Fullerton. And Fullerton will be a future conference foe, right? Because CBU is moving to the Big West Conference. Listen, Big West Conference is very strong in baseball, man. They are very good in baseball. They've got a lot of great programs. Obviously, Fullerton has a ton of tradition. So this is an exciting series for the Lancers to open up the year. 4-game series. It's going to be 2 in Fullerton, 2 in Riverside, and I believe because of the weather, they just switched it up. They were going to play on Saturday and Monday, but now I think they're going to play a doubleheader on Saturday. So if you want to spend Valentine's Day out at Topman Stadium and watch baseball, you can, man. What says love more than some fastballs, right, and some home runs? Forget the flowers. Just give the gift of baseball. Am I right? So Gary Adcock, the longtime head coach for CBU, talking about this season, trying to win a WAC championship and get to the NCAA tournament. They have a couple WAC tournament or WAC championships under their belt, but trying to get to the tournament, be eligible, and get to the NCAA tournament for the first time. So here is the skipper of the Lancers, head coach Gary Adcock.
Inland Sports.
So, Coach, final season in the WAC. You just answered it, but what do you think it's going to take for CBU to bring home a conference championship?
Well, it all has to come together. What do they say in football? The 3 phases of the game. I guess same could be said about baseball. We're going to have to pitch, we're going to have to defend, and we're going to have to hit. You know, I do think one of the things that we're going to really have to fixate and focus in on is, a good conference finish. I think a higher seed in that conference tournament is very helpful when it's impacted on a short period of time. So we're trying to put our goals in order, and the first goal is to win the conference and then see where we're at after that.
Inland Sports.
All right, that's the one and only Gary Adcock, and here's a quick plug for the Lancers Athletic Podcast. I got the honor of hosting this podcast, like all the podcasts, but this one's very exciting because we do have Gary Adcock on the podcast to preview the upcoming baseball season. He talks about the schedule. He talks about the move to the Big West. He talks about some of his top players, getting players to the major leagues. He's had a bunch of players drafted. So this week on the Lancers Athletic Podcast, it is the one and only Gary Adcock. So it was a lot of fun sitting down with him and talking baseball. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. Good luck to all of our local teams in the CIF Southern Section playoffs, especially this week. I know there's a lot of teams out there right now. Basketball, some soggy soccer in the first round for the boys, and then the first round will tip off for the girls on Thursday night, basketball and soccer, so a very busy time of the year. Give this video a like if you've made it to the end. I guess you like it. Give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. We're also all over social media, X, Instagram, still on Facebook a little bit, so make sure you give us a follow there as well. We do post pictures and videos and quick little updates, so that's a good way to follow along in between the shows every Wednesday night at 7:05 p.m. I'm Pep Fernandez. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night.